Every day you wake up, hit the gym, eat your clean, protein-packed meals, and think you're doing everything right for your body. But there's one tiny habit that's silently sabotaging all your hard work. That plastic water bottle you sip from every day. Scientists say it's not just a bottle. It's a doorway for thousands of tiny microplastics and nanoparticles to enter your bloodstream. Imagine this: tiny invisible particles traveling through your body, reaching your organs, your tissues, even your cells. And your body doesn't know how to handle them. In this video, we're going to uncover how plastics are formed, why they end up inside us, what they do once they're there, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself from them. So stick with me till the end, because your daily habit might be quietly affecting your health in ways you've never imagined. Did you know that the average human brain weighs about 1.3 kilograms, and research shows it contains around 6.5 to 7 grams of microplastics? That's roughly the size of a credit card, or even 3 small plastic bottles silently residing inside your most vital organ. These tiny plastics don't just sit there. Studies show they trigger inflammation throughout the body, affecting organs like the kidneys, intestines, and ovaries, and are increasingly linked to the development of cancer. Even what we drink is full of microplastics. A recent study by PhD student Iseline Scheib and her team found that glass bottles of soft drinks, lemonade, iced tea, and beer contain 5 to 50 times more microplastics than plastic bottles or metal cans. On average, a single liter of bottled water had around 240,000 tiny plastic particles, most of them nanoplastics, which are almost impossible for the body to eliminate. Our everyday habits, sipping drinks from bottles, eating packaged foods, are introducing thousands of these invisible particles into our bodies. And while we can't see them, their impact is very real, quietly affecting our health at a microscopic level. Imagine it's the mid-19th century, and scientists are exploring ways to create materials that don't exist in nature. One of the first pioneers was Eugène Chevreul, a Belgian chemist who in the 1820s and 1830s experimented with fats and oils, discovering how molecules could combine in new ways. His work hinted that we could artificially create materials with properties unlike anything in nature. Fast forward to 1862, when Alexander Parkes, a British inventor, unveiled Parkesine, the world's first semi-synthetic plastic. He treated cellulose with nitric acid and a solvent, creating a moldable material. It wasn't perfect, it was brittle and expensive, but it was a glimpse into the future. Then came the real game changer in 1907, when Leo Baekeland, a Belgian-American chemist, invented Bakelite, the first fully synthetic plastic. Baekeland mixed phenol and formaldehyde under heat and pressure in a chemical reaction called condensation, polymerization. This reaction formed long chains of molecules, creating a hard, heat-resistant, moldable material. For the first time, humans could make something durable entirely in a lab. From that moment, plastic evolved rapidly. Scientists learned how to create polyethylene, PVC, and PET using polymerization reactions that linked tiny molecules called monomers into long chains called polymers. These new plastics were lightweight, strong, and cheap, perfect for bottles, packaging, and countless products we use today. But the same chemical strength that makes plastics so useful is what allows them to persist in the environment and even inside our bodies as microplastics, silently traveling through our organs and tissues. As plastics evolved from Bakelite to polyethylene, PVC, and PET, scientists discovered that their unique physical and chemical properties were what made them so revolutionary. Imagine holding a plastic bottle in your hand. It's light, flexible, yet strong enough to carry water without breaking. That's the magic of polymers. Long chains of molecules interlinked in ways that give plastic both strength and flexibility. Chemically, plastics are made of repeating units called monomers. These monomers undergo polymerization reactions, linking together into polymers. For example, in polyethylene, thousands of ethylene molecules connect like a chain of paper clips, forming a material that is resistant to water, chemicals, and even heat to some extent. PVC, or polyvinyl chloride, is slightly more rigid, which is why it's used in pipes and building materials. These properties, durability, resistance, and versatility, made plastic indispensable in modern life. But here's the catch. These same properties make it nearly impossible for nature or our bodies to break down. Tiny fragments called microplastics and nanoplastics can persist for years, slowly entering food, water, and even our bloodstream. Every sip from a plastic bottle, every packaged snack, adds a few more of these particles into your body. And while plastic seems harmless and convenient, its chemical strength hides a silent danger that is only now becoming clear to scientists worldwide. Now imagine all those tiny plastic particles you just learned about, the microplastics and nanoplastics, silently traveling through your body. Every sip of water from a plastic bottle, every bite of packaged food is a tiny invasion. Scientists have found these particles in blood, lungs, even human placenta, proof that plastic doesn't just stay outside, it becomes part of us. Once inside, microplastics don't just sit there. Their chemical components, like BPA and phthalates, can interfere with your hormones, disrupt metabolism, and even trigger inflammation. Your immune system notices these invaders and tries to fight them off, but it can't fully break them down. Over time, these tiny plastics can accumulate in organs like the liver, kidneys, and intestines, quietly stressing your body. Studies even suggest links between long-term microplastic exposure and issues like heart disease, hormonal imbalances, and digestive problems. It's almost invisible, almost harmless at first glance, but the reality is that your body is under constant microscopic stress. And yet most people never think twice about that water bottle or plastic-wrapped snack. The silent journey of these microplastics continues unnoticed inside our bloodstream while we go about our daily lives. Plastic has been around for over a century, but detecting its tiny particles inside the human body is something very recent. Scientists in the 1800s and early 1900s, pioneers like Alexander Parkes and Leo Baekeland, had no idea that one day plastic could end up inside our organs. Back then, no tools existed to even imagine microplastics traveling through blood or tissues. It wasn't until the 21st century that researchers started discovering microplastics in human bodies. In 2018, a groundbreaking study found microplastics in human feces, proving that these tiny particles do enter the digestive system. Later studies detected them in blood and even the placenta, showing that microplastics can travel through the body and potentially affect organs. These findings are completely modern. They never existed in early history, and scientists only recently realized the extent of exposure. So while history shows us how plastics revolutionized life, modern science shows us the hidden cost. To protect yourself today, small changes make a big difference. Switch to glass or stainless steel bottles, filter your water, choose fresh foods over packaged ones, and avoid single-use plastics whenever possible. Each choice reduces the tiny microplastics silently entering your body, letting you enjoy modern life without letting plastic take a permanent toll on your health. Now that we know microplastics can enter our bodies and affect our health, the big question is, how can we protect ourselves? First, avoid single-use plastics like disposable bottles, straws, and food wrappers. They break down into microplastics easily. Switch to glass, stainless steel, or ceramic containers whenever possible. These materials don't release harmful particles. Second, filter your water. Even tap water can contain tiny plastic particles. Using a reliable water filter can remove most of them. Fruits, vegetables, and whole foods are much safer than heavily packaged snacks. Now, not all plastics are equally harmful. Safe plastics for human use include PET, polyethylene terephthalate, often used for reusable water bottles, HDPE, high-density polyethylene, used in milk jugs and food containers, PP, polypropylene, used in food storage boxes and microwave-safe containers. Avoid plastics with BPA, PVC, and polystyrene, PS, for food and drinks. They release chemicals that can interfere with hormones and health. By making these small but consistent changes, you can reduce the number of microplastics entering your body, stay healthy, and still enjoy the convenience of modern life. So every time you choose a bottle or a food container, remember, the right plastic keeps your body safe, while the wrong plastic quietly invades it. Plastics have changed our lives, making them easier and more convenient. But as we've seen, they can also silently affect our bodies in ways we never imagined. The good news is, with simple choices, like using safe plastics, filtering your water, and avoiding single-use items, you can protect yourself and your loved ones. If you found this video informative and eye-opening, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more science-based videos that explore the hidden mysteries of the world around us. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, and share this with friends and family who care about their health. Stay curious, stay safe, and remember, science is everywhere, even in the tiny particles we can't see.